Hello all, my name is Hitesh Thamani and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today I'm back with another interesting and a good logical problem in SQL for data and analytics. This problem had been shared by one of my LinkedIn connections. So at first place, when I looked at this particular problem, it seemed easy to me, but it's a tricky one. So make sure you watch the video till end and please subscribe to my channel if not already done yet. So basically, in this particular problem statement, the data which we have is of election, right? So as we can see, like basically, we have this is the table which we have in which there is a details of voter and the candidate, right? So basically, these are all the candidates which we have to vote, and these are the details of voter, right? Now, the condition over here is which we have to make sure. So this is the important condition which we have to make sure for this particular problem statement. So each person has one vote. So if they vote for multiple candidates, their vote will get equally distributed, right? So let's say if a particular person, a particular person has a chance to vote for a single candidate, right? But let's say if he or she is giving vote to, let's say, multiple people, right, or multiple candidates, so their vote will be equally splitted out, right? So let's say in one case this Charles is giving vote to two different people, right? So basically, the votes will get equally splitted to two different people, right? So in this particular case, the votes will get equally assigned, right? So this is something which we have to keep in our mind. For an example, if a person votes two candidates, so these candidates receive an equivalent of zero point 0.5 vote each, right? So this is something which we have to keep in our mind. And then at the end from this particular table, we have to find out who got most votes and who won the election, right? So this is the problem statement. Now let's see like how we will be able to solve this particular problem in SQL. Let me just quickly show you this particular table I have already created in SQL. I have provided the create and insert statements in the description below. You guys can take it from there and practice by your own, right? So as we can see, like basically we have a sample of data with us, right? In which like we have information of voter and the candidate to whom they had voted, right? Now, basically what we have to do, we have to basically find out the name of the candidate who won the election, right? So basically, when will be a candidate, when will that particular candidate will be winning a particular election, right? When he or she will get a maximum number of votes, right? So for sure in this particular case we have to calculate or we have to count number of votes a particular candidate got, right? So for that particular case we have to count like how many votes a particular candidate had received, right? So for that what I am doing over here is I have to basically count the number of votes a particular candidate received, right? So let me just quickly tell you so basically over here we need information of both voter and candidate, right? So for that I'm using voter comma candidate, right? Both the information we need, right? And apart from that, like what we have to do, we have to count a number of votes a particular candidate had received, right? So for that what I'm doing is I'm using count, right? I will use count star, right? We have to count all these records or all the votes, right? Now for this, what I'm doing is at a voter level, right? So let's say for each voter, we have to count like each voter had given how many votes to a particular candidate, right? So for that, I will use a Windows function over here, which will basically give us at a voter level how many votes that particular voter had given, right? So basically, I will use over and partition by partition by what? Partition by voter, right? And yeah, so basically this is the one which and I will give this as vote value. Okay, so this is the one which we basically using a count function over here, and with respect to this we will be able to count all the votes which which a particular voter had given, right? Now uh like as we can see over here, like we don't have any candidate value available, right? So let's say if like no candidate is there, so we may wanted to get rid for those particular records, right? Because if there is no candidate, then like there will be no purpose of basically analyzing that data, right? So basically what we will do, we will filter it out. So I'm using where condition for this. So where candidate is not null. So I will only fetch those records where candidate value, so basically the record in the candidate column is not null, right? So let me just quickly run this particular query and we'll show you how the result will look like. And let me just copy the original table as well over here, so that like it will be easier for us to compare our result, right? So I will run everything, and we will be able to compare like how our values look like, right? Right. So over here, this was our original table, and this is the new table, like new output which we got from this particular query, right? So we got voter, like a voter, we got candidate, and we got vote value, right? Now uh can we can we just quickly check basically for like one of these, like what is the vote value actually? Are we getting like exact count or not, right? So for Andrew, let me just quickly check like over here. So yeah, so let me just quickly filter out for Andrew. So for Andrew, we can see like Andrew had given vote to two different people, right? One is Rayan, and second one is Christine, right? So basically, since we had this is the condition which had been given in the call, question. Basically, each voter has a privilege to give only one vote. So basically, if let's say if multiple people, if a voter is giving vote to multiple people, then that vote is basically like distributed, right? So in this particular case, Andrew's vote will get distributed, right? So like basically Andrew had given vote to one person, right? So basically Christine will get zero point 0.5 and Rayan will get zero point 0.5, right? Like that. But over here, if we can see, Andrew's like vote value or vote count is 2, right? Which is incorrect in this particular case, right? So what we have to do in order to solve this particular case, what we have to do, we have to divide this by 1, right? So why we are dividing this by 1? Because each voter has a privilege to give only one vote, right? So basically, like let's say if as many votes he had given, but that particular number will get like splitted out using 1, right? So basically through this, let's say if we will run this particular code now, how it will look like, right? So basically, as we can see, Andrew's number is splitted out into between Rayan and Christine, right? So basically, we got this particular value over here, and this got splitted out between Rayan and Christine, right? So now we got the vote value, right? Which is like accurate as per the scenario which is given in the question, right? Now what we have to do on top of this, we have to basically figure out like which person or like which candidate got the maximum votes, right? So for that, basically what we have to do, we have to figure out like how many people are there in this particular list, right? And basically who won that particular election, right? So for that, what I'm doing is I am selecting it. So basically what I will do, I will sum up all the vote values from here, right? And from there, like I will like basically whosoever got maximum votes, I will filter out that particular candidate, right? So for that, what I will do, I will, so like this will be my inner query. So the query which I've written, this will be my inner query. And from this, I will select the like those like candidate who got maximum votes, right? So basically, I will do select, right? And from there, what I will do, I will use a candidate name, right? And what I will do, I will do sum of vote values, right? So basically, for each candidate, I have to do sum, like summation of all the votes, right? So I will do sum of vote value, right? And since this is a like decimal value, so I will round it up. And in the question, what they have mentioned, like we have to round this up to 3 decimal places. So I will use round function, and I will round this up to 3 decimal places, right? And I will give this alias as number of votes, right? So yeah, and I will give this as inner query, right? For this also, I will give alias as a, right? So yeah, and since I'm using sum function over here, I will do a group by, right? So basically, I will do group by. Group by on what? Group by on candidate, right? So let me just quickly run this, and we'll show you how our result set will look like now. So if we can see, basically at a candidate level, we got like basically how many votes a particular candidate had received, right? So basically, as we can see, like Anthony had received 2.5 votes, Christine received 5 votes, Kathy received 1.7 votes, and so on, right? Now, what we have to do, we have to basically provide a ranking to this particular votes, right? So for like as we know, like in SQL, we have like Windows functions which we will be able to use for ranking purpose, right? So to rank these particular votes, and while ranking, we have to keep this in mind, basically like this, like these numbers could be like duplicated, right? So we have to keep that in mind, and in order to handle that particular case, we have to use dense rank, right? So basically we will use dense rank over here, right? Dense rank of what? Dense rank, we have to do at a candidate level, right? So basically I'm using dense rank over, right? Since we have only single column, so it like there is no need of partition over here, right? But we have to order it, right? So basically for ordering purpose, I will use this particular column, right? So I will use by order by of what? Order by of this column, right? But since basically like we are using sum of vote value over here, right? So basically as per the like SQL query of execution, this particular alias will not work over here, right? So basically we have to use the entire function over here to order it up, right? So I'm using order by summation of that particular value, and then I have like I have to order it up by in descending uh, value, right? So basically it will be descending, right? And I am like giving it as alias as place, right? So this would be the like ranking thing. And then what I have to do, let me just quickly run this and we'll show you how it will look like. So I will run this entire thing, and as we can see, basically this is the candidate value, this is the number of votes that particular candidate got, and this is the place, right? Of that particular candidate, right? Now what we have to do, we have to just filter it out. So as the result is already clear in front of us, right? So basically what basically the candidate whose name is Christine had got the maximum number of votes, right? So now what we have to do, we have to filter out this particular value from the query, right? So what I will do now, I will filter out this particular, like, so basically this will be my the entire query will be my inner query. So the query which I've written over here, this will be my inner query. So what I will do, I will use select, and I will what I will select from this is like candidate, right? And I will use from, right, from this entire query, right? And as results, right? What I will do, I will basically filter out only that particular value whose place is 1, right? So I will use where place is equal to 1, right? Now let me just quickly run this and we'll show you how our result set will look like. So as we can see, the candidate like name whose the candidate whose name was Christine, that got maximum number of votes, right? So like this, you will be able to solve this particular problem, right? I hope this particular problem was like good one, and we had used like good logic in this particular problem statement. So that's all from my side. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you one and all. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.